So I'm Art Handy. I'm a state representative in Cranston. I also work for the Apeiron Institute for Sustainable Living, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the Barrington wind turbine project and some of the reasons why I think it's really important to get more and more distributed energy around the state. One of the challenges I think a lot of people don't realize we're going to face going forward over time is energy security in a different kind of way. A lot of people think I'm talking about, say, oil or access to electricity, but a lot of what also we don't think about is by having multiple sources of electricity across the grid, all over the place, in your neighborhood, in your town, actually really increases the security of our energy system. And yes, it does increase the security from things like, say, a terrorist attack, because then you can't hit every single small power source everywhere along the way. But actually what I really mean is when you've got something a lot closer to your house, you have a much more secure access to electricity near your house. Should there be those kinds of blackouts that we saw several years ago, we'd actually be protected from a lot of those kinds of problems with a more distributed energy supply throughout the country. The other advantage that a lot of people don't think about too is those distributed energy sources lose a lot less energy across the grid. When we're getting energy from Quebec or New York or even Massachusetts, energy is lost over the course of the time it travels across that grid. And I think a lot of people don't realize we're also wasting energy in that sense. I think I've heard numbers in excess of 10% frequently, energy lost. Imagine that we're burning coal to make electricity that's causing kids in our area to get asthma, to have asthma attacks, and all sorts of other host of health problems and global warming. And on top of that, 10% of it's just going out, getting lost in the lines on the way to our house. Instead, we could have a clean, renewable, reliable source in a neighborhood. Barrington has a real advantage of being in your neighborhood that can help the town save money, that can help the town have a more reliable source of energy. And frankly, I think a lot of communities and residences have even seen this as a sort of a tourist attraction along the way. And so I think that this is a great opportunity for Barrington, and I know a few people live there, and I've certainly let them know my appreciation for their circumstances, that they're going to hopefully find themselves in soon at having access to some clean, renewable energy right in their neighborhood, and be able to have something that they can talk to their kids about how important that is. One other thing I wanted to mention too, that I think is important for going forward is we're seeing things. Clearly most of us aren't going to be able to put a wind turbine in our backyard or on our roof or something like that. Most of us don't have that kind of a source. But as we see that, I think it lets us realize the possibilities. That maybe we could put solar photovoltaics on our roof, or even more, maybe even better, solar hot water on our roof. We might start thinking about ways to do more energy efficiency, because again, it makes us think about these things as we see something like that in our town, in our community, and in our state. And I think it's exciting when I see these kinds of things happening, and I'm excited for the opportunity that Barrington has to get this in place.